Righto, let's go coaches back to back.
On Sports Today, the coaches back-to-back for Parkland Mazda and the all-new Mazda 6.
On 882 6PR.
Always a great pleasure to have this man on the program, filling in for Ross Lyon, otherwise else engaged. G'day, Som.
Hey, Brad, how you going?
Going well, thanks. Thanks
Hello,
for coming off
Som.
the bench, mate, tonight. We appreciate it. Well, what was the overview, mate? How did you lose it?
Well, set shots, I reckon, Brad. Missed opportunities on goal, in my opinion, and we've had a close look at it as a match committee a little bit today, and we'll go through it again tomorrow morning. But we did miss some easy chances, I thought, with our set shots. I think we kicked 1-5 from around the 40-metre mark and 3 out in the full, so that doesn't read well.
Mate, you kicked, I think it was 4-14 from the 20-minute mark of the second quarter, so it was just incredible how inaccurate the boys became. One goal, 3 to Walters, 1 goal, 3 to Ballantyne. Maney misses one from 10 metres out, which, you know, he's been a dead-eye dick. So you can blame all of those things, but there were some really good points to come out of the game. The intensity, the match in itself, some broadcasting the game was, I thought, quite magnificent. I'd never seen so many smothers, mate, effective smothers from both teams, of boys just throwing themselves at the boot of the opposition player.
Yeah, no, look, you're right. It was a great game and probably a great spectacle on TV for the fans. But you know, that's what we're about. Hopefully, we can keep dishing up these performances, Carl, and be on the right end at the right time to get the 4 points. But you know, the boys have been terrific so far this season, but we need to continue on.
Disappointing McFarlane went down, and the reason that was because Pav was having a dirty night, and I think you would have liked to have had that flexibility to throw McFarlane forward and actually test Carlisle after half-time, because quite clearly Carlisle had Pav's measure.
Yeah, you're right, Brad. Look, with McFarlane going down, you had your full-back and your full forward who was struggling on the night and look, got well beaten by Carlisle, terrific effort, and at the end of the day, Pav's got beaten, and we should leave it at that. You know, I think, Carl, you got beaten every now and then when you played, so did I.
And got the Bronx cheers like Pav.
Yeah, that's the way it is, and you move on, and Pav will move on quickly. But, yeah, you're right, Brad. Probably we would have looked at McFarlane probably sliding forward in the second half.
And what a brouhaha. Everybody's saying, well, they can't boo him and jeer him when he's having a bad night. You never got jeered when you were playing, did you, Som?
Oh, I've got a few in my time. You know, but like I said, at the end of the day, he's human, and he's been a champion of the game and still will be. But you do get beaten at times, and you've got to put your hand up and say, yeah, I got beaten on the night, and let's move on. Where's next week? And that's what he's about anyway.
Now, Luke McFarlane, more importantly, is he going to be fit to play? How's he going with the testing?
Yeah, look, Carl, I haven't seen him today, but reports after the game, he was pretty good. So I think it comes down to the doctors late in the week to make that decision whether he'll be right or not. But he looked okay after the game. But like I said, that's going to be a doctor's call.
Well, he was eating a banana 10 minutes after he went down the race.
Yeah, I seen that on the highlights, and he had a bit of a smile on his face. We wish he was out there.
Maybe he thought he was a monkey or something, boys. You know, you just can't take that out of the equation, can you? When we think about our background. Now, seriously, Som, when you again, I want to look at the positives out of this game because you know you should have won the game. When you look at your inside 50s, and particularly you absolutely smashed the Bombers in the clearances.
Yeah, no, we did, and it was a terrific job by the boys in the midfield. Like you said, the inside 50s, we should have won, but Carl, I thought we probably could have been 8 or 9 up at half time, and
correct.
That nearly seals the deal. And then what happens? You're only 5 or 6 up, and then they kick the first 2 with a few points, and then suddenly you think, geez, we're only 15, 16 points down here, you know, halfway through the third. So that's our fault, and like I said, we did a missed opportunity, and you know, as a group, we've got to regroup and get on the bike and get ready for the Hawks this week.
What happened at half time? Because they didn't come out, I suppose, early in that third quarter with what they went into half time with, and that was the real intensity and you know, what they'd given us for the first half.
Yeah, no, that's right, Carl. Look, you can put it down to a number of things. It might be just a mental block for 10 or 15 minutes in that third quarter, coming out after half time thinking the job was done. Who knows? And, you know, we've all been players and we've all had these lapses. And at the end of the day, if you do and you're against a good side, it can cost you.
What about to this week? Some obviously the game down in, well, not relatively neutral territory because Hawthorn play a fair bit down there, but Fremantle play well down there. When you go into that arm wrestle with them, with the rolling zones and the presses and the like, what are you going to do to guard the quick change of direction that Hawthorn employed against Collingwood yesterday? Just blew them out of the water with blokes like Birchall and Guerra and that kicking the ball laterally 50 metres at a time.
Yeah, no, it was impressive, especially in the wet, Brad. You know, it was pretty slippery at the MCG yesterday. So, yeah, look, we just have to look at them closely later in the week and probably train a little bit for that on the Thursday before we leave and just weigh up how we're going to combat that. You are right. You know, they did move the ball, and Birchall with his left foot and Guerra, they can kick it over a distance. So we've got to make sure we can cover that switch.
Lost 8 of the last 9 down in Tassie, so just put that on the board, will you, mate?
Yeah, we weren't too good there last year, Carl. I can give you the tip. I think it was round 2, so we were pretty disappointed with our effort there last year.
Now, this is Paul, who's sent me in this. He says, is Pav going to get dropped until he finds full fitness and form? Freo need to play Mellington as another key target. Well, I don't know whether Paul actually knows, but Mellington's been reported for striking in the waffle, so we'll see how he goes tomorrow. But you're not going to drop Pav, are you?
No. Look, Carl, like I said, it was, it was a call in the box even, at the end there, or should we take him off and put a runner on it? At the end of the day, I said to Ross, and even Ross said, well, let's leave the champ on. He could win us the game. And I think that's the way you've got to be thinking with these players, and they'll get through. And he's had his ups and downs throughout his career, and he's on a, he's had an average one. Last week against the Western Bulldogs, he had 6 shots on goal. This week he had a couple, and I thought he was involved in a couple of assists in scores. So he's playing his part, and he took Carlisle, who I think people are underestimating how good he's been since the start of the season as well. So he'll be fine. He'll find form.
Who else do you see as a danger for Hawthorn coming into the weekend besides obviously Buddy?
Yeah. Oh, look, I think Roughhead's jumping up, Brad. I really see him finding some form. I thought he was solid against West Coast, and then again yesterday I thought he's just starting to find some touch. So we've got to make sure, you add Buddy into that, but Roughhead is a player who can kick 5 or 6 goals, so we've got to make sure we're watching him. Mate. And of course Mitchell,
you've got to
who
stop.
we all know running off half back as well.
Yeah, well, he and Birchall and Hodge, mate, they just had it laid out in a plate for him the last couple of weeks. They definitely need to be controlled across that half back line, because that's where they have set everything up in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, look, they've been terrific. Like you said, Carl, I think Birchall kicked 2 against West Coast, running off half back, and then Mitchell's just racking them up. And it's going to be a tough assignment, but we think we've got the players' game plan to really challenge Hawthorn and be ready to go.
Sum, we really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much, and good luck on the weekend. We'll be down there for 882 6PR. We'll see you there.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Peter Sumich there from the Fremantle Dockers.